Alrighty, so welcome to a new video. Now, before I get started, I just wanted to do a couple quick shout outs here to one of the channels that I found recently on publishing and a video from one of my friends' channels that I think you're going to find interesting as well. So the reason that I do this is because I understand that I definitely don't hold all the information when it comes to publishing, and people like to see other people's perspective on publishing as well. And I know that a lot of us are in completely different positions. We take advice in different ways from different people. So new channel that I come across recently that I really like is Rags to Niches. I'm going to assume it's Rags to Niches, the way that it's meant to be pronounced. But sorry, I don't know your name either, but this person has got 5 videos so far only. But I genuinely believe this person's legit. They know what they're talking about. Every video that I've watched where she's giving advice, I completely agree with everything that she says, which is rare for me to do. And yeah, I think you should check this person out. If you're getting bored of all the other YouTubers like myself, then go ahead, check out Rags to Niches. And the video that I wanted to give a quick shout out to was a video done by Abdullah Sabaiti here. Sorry dude, I can't pronounce your name properly still, but I'm sure you don't mind. But basically he's done a video on his 1 year experience with Amazon KDP. And the reason why I'm suggesting this video is because I understand that we're all in different positions, like especially financially when it comes to trying to earn money online. And I do believe that Abdullah is living in Morocco and he's not actually had much money. I think no money whatsoever to start his publishing business with. And he's actually been seeing some success over the course of the year, which is actually a really incredible thing to do, especially in 2021. To be able to do this is really fantastic, and he's worked very hard to get to where he is, made some mistakes. But yeah, I think if you're in a similar position to Abdullah here, then you're really going to enjoy this video. You're really going to get like a real perspective on what it's like to publish when maybe you don't have that much money to invest into it. Okay, so this is the video. I'm going to leave a link in the description below, and also just gonna quickly shout out to my own group here. If you want to join my group, it's going to be in the description below. If you want to go ahead and download the free low content book niches that I give away, go to the description, you can download them as well. So go look at the description basically. Okay, so originally what I had in mind for this video was I was going to be doing a video about what I would do if I had to start my KDP business again, and the video is going to revolve around using something like BookBolt in order to create low content books and just build things from there. And the reason why I've taken so long to make this video is because I've had to actually really think what I would really do if I had to start things over, knowing what I know now, and not kind of make an in theory video that might not actually help as many people. And I guess that might be disappointing for you to hear, but with this video, I'm going to actually be able to tell you what I will be doing going forward in 2022 and what I would be doing if I started again that year being 2022 as well. Okay, so I'm going to kind of do 2 scenarios for each point that I make, where I'm going to be talking about what I'm going to be doing and what I would be doing if I started again. Okay, because I understand there's going to be some financial differences between the two here. Okay, it's going to make sense when you watch the video. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at what my ideal layout for 2022 is going to be. Okay, so bear in mind, I'm going to do this in a way where we talk about what I would do and what I'm going to be doing as well. Okay, so firstly here, let's just go through this list very quickly. It's going to be avoiding highly competitive low content niches. Next, we have to produce low content books specifically for seasonal events. Then we look at setting a standard for the quality of our books. Then we're going to look at having money to invest. And just a real quick note when it comes to having money to invest, I think I'm going to give the reality here is that if I had to start again, and if I was starting in 2022 with no money, I honestly don't know if I would start with no money whatsoever. So bear that in mind when going through this video. I would need to have some money to start. I did start my business before with no money and it was an absolute nightmare, and I think doing that in 2022 is going to be even harder, so bear that in mind. Produce higher content books that I spent more money and more time on. I'm going to be using software to save time and give myself confidence in my pursuits. I'm going to be outsourcing most of the work. I'm going to focus on becoming more of a brand. I'm going to accept that there will be failures. I'm going to be running ads. I'm going to be ignoring the typical KDP haters. I'm going to be looking at doing things like audiobooks and adding my books to Ingram Spark. And then I'm also going to be making sure that I keep my publishing account safe from terminations. Okay. Okay, so let's go over each of these points and talk about what I would do and what I'm going to be doing for 2022. So regardless of what I would do and what I will be doing, I'm going to be ignoring, and I would be ignoring completely low content and no content books like line journals and basically any other really generic no content book. I do think in order for this to work, you have to have some real good design skill. You need to have something really spectacular going for you that someone else doesn't have. And I know that people are making good money from doing these type of books, and I know that they're making good money from not running ads to these books as well. But for me personally, I just find it way too tedious, and I do believe that people that do have success with these books, I think they have something above your average person. They have some specific knowledge that we just don't hold. And honestly, I think the reality here is that these like low content, these really super low content or no content books, they're still kind of being sold as a really easy way to make money online by people that either don't do them themselves or used to have success with them back in like 2018 and 2019. While I think that the intentions of these people might be good, I think for people that like us that want to do work online and make money online, we've got to be adapting to the ever-changing marketplaces, right? And for me, I've been publishing throughout all of this year, all types of books, and 90% of my success from publishing does not come from these type of books, okay? And I'm looking at this from the perspective that I am an average person. Like, I don't have any sort of special knowledge in a certain area that I can create low content books about. I don't have any really good design skills. So there's nothing about me that will say to me that, I should go ahead and I can be an expert in a certain area. Okay. So that's why I'm avoiding these type of books, regardless of what I would do and what I would be doing. Okay. Okay, so moving on to the next point of producing low content books specifically for seasonal events. Okay, so what am I going to be doing for 2022? I'm going to be looking at producing around 20 to 30 low content books, very specific towards things like Mother's Day, Father's Day, and most definitely Valentine's Day. That's going to be a very, very big one. It usually is. Make a lot of money if you get the books right for this. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be outsourcing pretty much all that work. And that's obviously going to cost me money. And I'm going to be running ads to every single low content book that I produce throughout this year. But I'm going to be obviously running ads I'm going to make these books as soon as I can. And then when it comes closer to the event in question, then I'm going to start running ads to these books. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And that revolves around spending money. Okay, so what would I do in terms of low content books if I was starting my KDP business again? Now, the main thing here when it comes to starting things again is I wouldn't be putting as much money into the business. So I'd look at probably creating more of these type of books. Obviously, these would be unique offerings into Amazon's marketplace. But I'd look at creating these using something like Canva. Now, I've spoken about this many times before that if you're going to be doing any kind of low content book, any kind whatsoever, then I strongly believe that you have to have something that stands out ahead of your competition, or just stands out in front of the thousands of other books out there. So what I would do if I was starting again, I'd look at these seasonal niches like Valentine's Day, Christmas, things like that, these pretty easy to find events, and then look at creating simple but unique cover designs inside of Canva. Okay, and when it comes to the interiors for these books, what I was doing before was just using Upwork to get someone to very quickly and very cheaply produce these interiors. That's not going to cost you hardly any money whatsoever. I unfortunately can't give you any advice on how to create interiors because I literally never do these, okay? Because for the time that it takes, the money that it's cost, like there's no point in me wasting my time doing that, okay? Because for the time that it takes to produce these simple interiors, you can hire someone for $5 to do like 10 different interiors for these books. So that's pretty much nothing. And if you don't have $5 to put into this, then you need to stop and wait until you have money. Okay, so the next point here that I'm going to be doing in 2022, this wouldn't matter whether I'm doing this or whether I started again, is to set a standard for my book quality for every single book that I upload. Okay, so people brush this off like it doesn't mean anything, and I know this is such a wishy-washy bit of advice that people don't like listening to, but it is so true. It's so important that you have a standard of book quality. Okay, so just to give you a real quick example here, if you were selling things like coloring books, and you have to trust me here, like this is very, very important. I think this is above everything else that I talk about in this video. This is the most important thing, setting that standard of quality for book. And I know it's hard to know what your quality should be, but it's something you really have to understand within the niche that you're publishing in. So like I say, if we're doing something like coloring books for kids,